Every morning I rise and face the firing squad. Every morning there's one who holds his fire. His dilemma is my system of belief. They fire rounds, but I am seldom in their circle. A quiet mind is labeled sound and colored purple. My little boy has not yet learned the color within lines. His jumbled diction has not yet learned our contradiction. We speak of art with flaming passion, then do work void of compassion, and wonder why reality is bleeding fiction. Dear God, I wasn't breastfed, and most of my conversations with men seem to revolve around music. I'm no musician, but the pain has been instrumental. My senses finely tuned instruments of being lonely, of being lost, of being man, I use a metaphor, but I can't get beyond this shit. I could use someone to talk to, but most of my conversations with men seem to revolve around music. I'm falling up flights of stairs, scraping myself from the sidewalk, jumping from rivers to bridges, drowning in pure air. Hip-hop is lying on the side of the road, half dead to itself. Blood scrawled over entangled flesh like jazz, stuffed into an oversized record bag, tuba lips, swollen beyond recognition, diamond-studded teeth strewn like rice at Karma's wedding. The ring bearer bore bad news. Miss of information wrote the wrong proclamation. Oh, everyone's singing the wrong song. Dissonant chords find necks like nooses. That nigga kicked the chair from under my feet. Harlem shaking from a rope, but still on beat. Damn, that lip is tight. Nigga found a way to sample the way, the truth, the light. Can't wait to play myself at the party tonight. Niggas are gonna die. Cop car swerved to the side of the road. Hip-hop takes its last breath. The cop scrawls vernacular manslaughter onto a yellow pad. The balls of paper to his hand, deciding he'd rather freestyle. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to remain silent. And maybe you should have before your bullshit manifested. Telegram to hip-hop. Dear hip-hop, stop. This shit is going too far. Stop. Please see that turntable and mixers are returned to cool her. Stop. The ghettos are dancing off beat. Stop. The master of ceremonies have forgotten that they were once slaves and have neglected the occasion of this ceremony. Stop. Perhaps you should not have encouraged them to use cordless microphones. They have walked too far from the source and are emitting a lesser frequency. Stop. Please inform all interested parties that cash nor murder have been included to the list of elements. Stop. We're discontinuing our line of braggadocio in light of the current trend in realness. Stop. As an alternative, we will be confiscating weed supplies and replacing them with magic mushrooms in hopes of helping they see beyond the reality. Stop. Give my regards to Brooklyn. Whereas, break beats have been the missing link connecting the diaspora community to its drum-woven past. Whereas the quantized drummers allow the whirling mathematicians to calculate the ever-changing distance between rock and stardom. Whereas the velocity of spinning vinyl cross-faded, spun backwards and re-released at the same given moment of recorded history, yet at a different moment in time's continuum has allowed history to catch up with the present. We do hereby declare reality unkept by the changing standards of dialogue. Statements such as, keep it real, especially when punctuating or anticipating modes of ultra-violence inflicted psychologically or physically, will henceforth be seen as retroactive, not representative of the individually determined is. Furthermore, As you turn by the collective consciousness of this state of being and the lessened distance between thought patterns and their secular manifestations, the role of men as listening receptacles is to be increased by no less than 70% of the current enlisted as vocal aggressors. Motherfuckers, when I say motherfucker, I mean literally those who desecrate that which is feminine, maternal, matriarchal, truthful. Motherfuckers better realize now is the time to self-actualize. We have found evidence that hip-hop standard 85 RPM, when increased by number at least half the rate of its standard, or decreased 3/4 of its speed, may be a determining factor in heightening consciousness. Studies show that when a given norm is changed in the face of the unchanging, the remaining contradictions will parallel the truth. Equate rhyme with reason, sun with season. Our cyclical relationship to phenomenon has encouraged scholars to erase the centers of periods, thus symbolizing the non-linear character of cause and effect. Reject mediocrity. Your current frequencies of understanding outweigh that which has been given for you to understand. The current standard is the equivalent of an adolescent restricted to the diet of an infant. The rapidly changing body would acquire dysfunctional and deformative symptoms and could not properly mature on a diet of applesauce and crushed pears. Light years are interchangeable with years of living in darkness. The role of darkness is not to be seen as or equated with ignorance with the unknown and the mysteries of the unseen. Thus, in the name of Robeson, Godson, Hurston, Akhenaten, Hatshepsut, Blackfoot, Helen, Lennon, Kahlo, Kali, the three Marias, Tara, Lilith, Lord, Whitman, Baldwin, Ginsburg, Kaufman, Lumumba, Gandhi, Gibran, Shabazz, Siddhartha, Medusa, Rivera, Gurdjieff, Rand, Wright, Banneker, Tubman, Hamer, Holiday, Davis, Coltrane, Morrison, Joplin, Du Bois, Clark, Shakespeare, Rachmaninoff, Ellington, Carter, Gay, Hathaway, Hendricks, Cootie, Dickinson, Ripperton, Mary, Isis, Teresa, Hansberry, Tesla, Plath, Rumi, Fellini, Michaud, Nostradamus, Nefertiti, Laroque, Shiva, Ganesha, Yemaya, Oshun, Obatala, Ogun, Kennedy, King, Four Little Girls, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Keller, Biko, Marley, Magdalene, Cosby, Shakur, those who burn, those to the flame, and the countless unnamed. We claim the present as the present, as the hereafter. We are unraveling our navels that we may ingest the sun. We are not afraid of the darkness. We trust that the moon shall guide us. We have determined the future at this very moment. We know that the heart is a philosopher's stone. Our music is our alchemy. We stand as a manifested equivalent of 3 buckets of water and a handful of minerals, thus realizing that those very buckets turned upside down supply the percussive factor of forever. If you must count to keep the beat, then count. Find your mantra and awaken your subconscious. Carve your circles counterclockwise. Use your cipher to decipher. Coded language, man-made laws, climb waterfalls and trees, commune with nature, snakes and bees. Let your children name themselves and claim themselves as the new day. For today, we are determined to be the channelers of these changing frequencies into songs, paintings, writings, dance, drama, photography, carpentry, crafts, love, and love. We enlist every instrument, acoustic, electronic, every so-called gender, race, sexual orientation, every person as beings of sound to acknowledge a responsibility to uplift the consciousness of the entire fucking world. Any utterance unaimed will be disclaimed, will be maimed. 2 rappers slain. Yeah!